There's a question, I think, at the back of the room next, gentleman there.
Hi, Steve Middleton. I take umbrage with Mr. Bailey's position on the recognition or the declaration of credit facilities when it comes to swaps. I recently supplied evidence to the FCA of a rigging or an error in relation to a swap credit line that went through the review from RBS, where just before the review file was prepared, Treasury actually contacted the local relationship manager and asked him to reduce the credit risk on the file from 3.7 million down to 1.4 million. That information was then submitted in a file note for the review, and the review decision was based upon that erroneous information. Just after the independent review had gone through the file, Treasury then got in touch with the relationship manager and got them to put the credit risk back up to 3.5 million. Now, the practice involved in this case was a GP's practice, which were heavily targeted by RBS with interest rate swaps long term. I've raised this issue and given the evidence to the FCA, to KPMG and to RBS. They admit there's an error, which is a slightly coincidental error, shall we say, at the same time the file review is being prepared, but none of them are interested in taking any action. If this wasn't just one single case, but it was systemic, that could mean hundreds of millions didn't go back to the healthcare sector, GPs, dentists, other people working in healthcare, because of file rigging by RBS. So why are the FCA disinterested in actions like this by RBS that may be criminal? Why do the FCA seem to be protecting RBS at all costs? And to put it simply, why should anyone believe that the FCA is not colluding with RBS in these matters to the ongoing detriment of SMEs and consumers?
Well, Mr. Middleton, perhaps I could answer that one. I'm familiar with the case, and we are by no means disinterested in it. I think we've been in touch with you over the last month or so on it. You raised it. We would like any further information you've got on the case. We think it is an interesting case, and we want to follow the case up. So please do not think that we are disinterested in that case. We are not at all. We would like you, anything you can provide us on that case, we will find helpful. So that is not on our part a sign of lack of interest.
Okay. So I'm now going to come to...
One point on that, Mr. Bailey.
Yeah.
Well, it's all right saying that, but the bank are withholding documentation required that would give you the further evidence in breach of the Data Protection Act.
If you
what support are you going to give me to get that information?
If you give us the information, we will see what we can do with it.
Thank you. So I'm now going to take some